Hello everyone and welcome back. We are about to get into this second game of the best of three in the third place playoff between Bananas in Tuxedos and Infected Gaming. I am Sona and my co-caster today is Grey Goose. I am exceptionally excited for this one. What about you, Grey Goose?
After seeing what the first game in this best of three series was like, I cannot wait to see what game 2 will be like, or even a best of three. It's a third game. Oh my god, I don't even want to imagine that because I'm not sure if I can keep up. It's so exciting, and the first game was already so great.
It was an incredible first game, and I mean, obviously I did most of the talking, so you're going to have to try and equalize out on this one, but I am very, very, very hyped for this. We did actually see a Shyvana ban coming out straight away. Just too strong in that last game.
Shyvana was really one of the driving forces. She was so strong just going into the back lines. And scratch everything about what I said before the game about a Shyvana jungle not being that strong. She did everything she had to do for her entire team. She was the main tank, she was there when she was needed, and she really turned so many fights around for her team. Very nicely done there. So completely understandable. And once again we see the Nocturne ban.
Yeah,
I don't know. They seem to just
surprising ban. Another surprising ban coming out there. I mean, they do not seem to like him being played. I mean, I guess with the paranoia, they're trying to get rid of that split push element. You can't do a sort of double split push with the Shen, Nocturne, or even the jump on the backline idea with Orianna Nocturne, which is very strong with the Shockwave as well. So just trying to get rid of those little bits. And actually another Vi ban coming out as well.
They're just hating on the junglers. In the end, that's all it is, and we see Sona locked in right away. Sona, really, as Han Solo mentioned, the MVP of last game. She was so strong. She was always there when necessary. Her crescendo is so spot on. It was amazing. The other bans we had here were Evelynn and Vayne. Evelynn really strong right now with the changes to vision, and the pink wards, of course, always being visible, very easily cleaned out by her. She's gotten really, really powerful, and very understandable ban there. We also saw the Vayne ban last game already, so I can also relate to that one quite well, as we've seen Orianna locked in here already.
Yeah, an interesting lock in there. We didn't see Orianna in the last game, obviously, so I'm intrigued as to how that one gets played. The Vayne ban, I think, is definitely against Aixie. He plays a very good Vayne, so just trying to eliminate that one from the fight. And we do see Jarvan getting locked in, banned out in the last game, picked in this one. Obviously a contentious champion for these two teams.
Yeah, and he was banned, actually, by Infected Gaming last time. And this time they picked him up. So I don't know why they banned him last time, whether they were scared of him, who knows. But this time around he does want him, and we see Gragas locked in already. They were hovering over him last time, decided to go with a Fizz in the end, but this time they do want the Fat Man. They want Gragas to be in there and do all the damages. We may see another Ezreal. The Ezreal Sona being very, very powerful last game. Despite being pushed back heavily in the first couple of minutes, they picked up the steam again, and Ezreal did a lot of damage towards the mid and late game.
Yeah, incredible damage that they managed to put out. I think Ezreal died once in the entire game, and Sona didn't die at all. So obviously very, very comfortable on those two champions in the bottom lane. Their synergy was exceptional in the last game with the sustain from the Sona as well. The Gragas, as you said, was hovered over in the last game. I think we'll see a more conservative sort of style of play coming out from Wolfish EU, to put it bluntly. In this game, I don't think he'll be going as deep as he did in the last game. Getting caught in a few nets, I think, on that Fizz, just distracting me a little bit with shiny objects as well. He's going to be sort of the more drunkard type of a champion, sort of slowly rolling up to the fight, throwing out some alcohol and then rolling back away from it, as opposed to jumping and dashing and diving and dodging and weaving, as you would expect on a Fizz.
And contrary to popular belief, this drunkard is not actually as slow as you made it sound. With his body slam, he's everywhere. Gragas, despite, being very slow and moving all around, he's still really powerful, and he has a surprising amount of mobility to be in the fights where he needs to be, and reposition himself very nicely as well, as we actually see another kill bot lane on the side of Infected Gaming. Last time that Leona Jinx didn't work out that well for them, despite having the upper hand in the bot lane for most of it. This time they've gone for Corki Thresh. If Thresh lands a death sentence on Sona, that could actually spell death for her. because she is squishy. He can then follow it up, put in another flay, and Corki comes in there with a phosphorus bomb. It is now not as before an instant spell where he places it. Instead, he kind of lobs the missile and then it has its impact area. So that was changed a little bit, but when you're hit by a death sentence, it'll still be very easy to place that phosphorus bomb on the enemies and, dish out as much damage as possible, as we now see Aatrox and Singed locked in here.
Yeah, Aatrox a very strong jungler at the moment. You've got a lot of mobility with your Dark Passage, being able to jump across walls. Dark Flight. Dark Passage is Thresh's ability. Dark Flight being able to jump across walls, and the Blades of Torment as well. With that slow, if you can get your W stacked up, that Bloodthirst, get some extra health back when you're below 50%, that's really going to help you sustain in the jungle, and you're going to be able to sort of jump around a huge amount. So, very good pick, especially with the Bloodwell passive as well. You can do a lot of interesting things and really exciting things early in the game, considering you can tank towers a little bit more, you can be a little bit more aggressive. So I'm expecting to see some early ganks coming out from that Aatrox. And then Singed. Singed is the tank for this team. That is his job. We expect to see him farming as much as he can, proxy farming as well, although that's been nerfed a little bit because every 1,000 gold you get from minions now resets your death tally, so to speak. So you can't just continually die and give less and less gold to the opponents. You give just as much gold. But I expect to see him being the tank, being that big front man for his team, and just around as the kettle boils.
Indeed, he's going to try to do as much for his team as he can, as we see Shen locked in as the last pick for Infected Gaming. And I don't know, he was hovering on Teemo. I was already getting excited about Teemo. Instead, he's opted for another tank. Now, their lineup has gotten pretty tanky with Jarvan, Thresh, and Shen, so that's really nice for them. And it kind of makes the top lane into a sort of, farm battle. Singed and Shen theoretically have a little bit of kill potential, especially with jungler pressure. But when the two of them are alone and at fairly high health, they'll just sit there, farm up. Maybe, chuck a Vorpal Blade out of Shen, or a little bit of poison with a fling out of Singed. But overall, I don't think too much will happen in that top lane unless there's a lot of jungler focus.
And I don't expect a lot of jungle focus in that top lane. The only time that it's really effective for a jungler to gank is either when that Insanity Potion from Singed is down, or when the Shadow Dash is down, coming out from the Shen. Because if those are up, they're such good escape abilities. Singed flings you across his back, runs away, and is very, very, very safe. And Shen, even safer, just Shadow Dashes through you, yes, taunts a little bit towards him, but he can just feint and run away as well. So, although he has taken that Ignite in the top lane, so he's going for the kills early game. He did take that in the last one. Oh no, he didn't take that in the last one, and it really cost him. EJ Panda picking up that early kill with the turnaround kill in top lane, that first blood. But we see a reverse Ghost and Flash being picked up by EJ Panda, and the Ignite Flash being picked up by Awesome Vossum Volpic on that Shen. That's definitely how you pronounce that name. I'm quite happy with the way I pronounce
Certainly.
that. Yeah.
I wouldn't know how else to say it. I like it. Awesome Vossum Volpic. Awesome Vossum Volpic. Awesome Vossum Volpic. Oh god. I'm gonna get a knot in my tongue if I say that too quickly. So, looking at these two teams, I'm really interested in the lanes, because we've already gone over top lane, then mid lane, Gragas against Orianna. Gragas is melee, Orianna is ranged. However, both of them still have very nice poke potential, so Gragas with his barrels quite capable of poking down even a ranged champion like Orianna. She's going to try and make farming for difficult for him, but he definitely has ways to answer. And if he manages to body slam onto her and then have his barrels ready, he definitely also has a lot of kill potential in that lane. Both of them went for the Ignite, and I think that lane is definitely going to see quite a lot of jungler visits, because it can really swing either way, and both of these champions will have a very high impact towards the late game.
And we've talked a lot about the bottom lane combinations. We actually see Xi and Trixio on those champions they played in the last game played to such superb effect. And I wonder if they'll be able to do as well in this game as they did in the last. Totally different champions coming out from Fighter SVK and Sci-Fi Man. They didn't have a fun time. After the first couple of minutes, they got destroyed, demolished, decimated, and another thing I was going to say, which I can't say on stream because it involves a word that is also a part of the male anatomy, so we won't get into that one. It's going to be an interesting game, and I think a lot of this game is going to be determined by how the early fights come out.
I was thinking forever which word you were actually thinking of. Okay, I've gotten over that now. As we are now into the loading screen. For the level 1s, both of these teams have quite a lot of potential, but once again, I would give a level 1 over to Infected Gaming. They didn't make use of it last time, both of the teams going very defensive there, but maybe they'll actually try to do something this time around. You know, they have the Death Sentence and they have the Shadow Dash. Both of those spells able to swing a fight heavily in your favor if you land them the right way during a level 1 fight. However, on the opposing side, we have Aatrox, one of the best level 1 fighters. There's also a Singed with a Fling that can really displace you. Overall, though, as I mentioned, still would give the level 1 over to Infected Gaming. However, I think they're just going to be defensive this time. They have to be a little bit scared after last game, and they have the means of scouting out for enemy invades with that Orianna ball.
And it's talked a lot about how Orianna is countered out by that Gragas, Hillbilly Gragas in this game. We saw it a little bit at Worlds with Faker on Gragas against that Orianna, but it's very much, I believe, a skill matchup, and it's very much about how well you position your balls and how well you position your barrels, because in the end of the day, they both have superb poke damage, especially with command attack, command dissonance coming out from Orianna, and those barrel rolls from Gragas. So it's going to be all about who engages better and actually thinks under pressure better, and who gets the better ganks as well. Jarvan is very, very strong in that early ganking role.
Indeed, I mean, as we mentioned, we saw Jarvan banned last time, and he's a very strong early to mid-time ganker. And if he manages to come around in the beginning of the game and pick up early kills for his team, that can really snowball ahead this Thresh and Corki lane. If they get the upper hand in that bottom lane, it can be truly terrifying for the poor Sona Ezreal.
Truly terrifying!
Oh, yes. Even though there's no Terrify in this game. No Fiddlesticks, so no Terrify.
That is true, there is no Fiddlesticks in this game. One of the interesting item pickups that's actually happened really early here is the Doran's Blade coming out from Aatrox, and he's just realised, I was about to mention this, he's just realised he hasn't picked up a trinket. So he's going to go back, realise that he's not playing Bronze 5, pick up a trinket, and then come back into lane.
Indeed, and he's actually picking up the Scrying Orb, so he wants that, placed vision. Last time, they didn't have that, and this time around, there's no Scrying Orb on Infected Gaming. And I love how there are these little things that just change around with the different team composition and the way they play. But as we said, both of these teams going for a defensive setup, Shen up in that top lane, so we're probably just gonna see standard lane setups despite Ezreal moving over there. I think he just wants to check out the blue buff whether anyone's there. One more interesting item is actually the Spell Thieves Edge on Sona. Last time she went with the Ancient Coin, and the Talisman of Ascension was a huge part of that game for them. It was so crucial in disengaging and then positioning correctly. This time, she's gone for the Spell Thieves Edge. That's gonna build into the Frost Fang, and then the Frost Queen's Claim. She'll be able to slow down enemies with it, but she won't be able to help her own team reposition. However, it's also capable of giving her a lot more gold than the Ancient Coin.
Oh,
and maybe she'll
just... sorry, I'm interrupting you here. Gragas
Oh my god.
It's gonna happen. Doesn't happen. Smite comes out right at the last moment there. That was almost the death bush. It was almost the barrel bush, so to speak. But yes, the Frost Fang coming out from Sona is going to be able to get them a little bit more CC, a little bit more of a slow. And I don't think they need the Talisman of Ascension engage as much as they did in the last fight, because they had that Shyvana. They wanted to be able to run up to the opposing team and get right in their faces. However, now Aatrox is more of a who uses Dark Flight to get into the fight. You've got Ezreal jumping around as well. Gragas has got Body Slam and the Explosive Cast to put people out of position. So they've got a lot more repositioning skills now, as opposed to having to use sort of just, I run at your face and I attack you.
Yeah, and you mentioned the pickup of the Doran's Blade on Aatrox, and The reason he's able to do this is because he has such nice sustain, and recently they changed him around a bit, so he has to build damage items to dish out as much damage as he previously did. So I think the Doran's Blade a very reasonable pickup on him. He's able to do it due to his sustain, so he's not going to get too low. He doesn't need to build the machete and the health potions, and then he's still just able to roam all over as Jarvan and Aatrox are moving up towards the top lane. May see an early fight here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who wins this one out, because Jarvan is on full health. Aatrox is a little bit below full, but has got those pots. Going to try and sustain himself up. There's the fling onto Shen. He's going to Shadow Dash. Oh, the Dark Flight missing there. Blaze of Torments come out. Everyone is very low here. Ignite actually going down onto the Singed. He's going to have to run away. Bloodwell passive is going to be popped. Oh, the flash being used there. That is not a good flash. They're going to be able to use this Poison Trail. Jarvan trying to get in. Oh, that was so close. And the counter engage there. The nice fling and Shadow Dash combination actually meaning that the Dark Flight didn't connect. So there wasn't that little bit of extra CC in the top lane.
And really, that is not a good thing for Bananas and Tuxedos right now. Aatrox wants to have that passive up. It's always an additional threat. And with it being down now, he's much less of a threat in the other lanes, especially in somewhere like bottom lane, where there's a lot of kill potential inherently. It's usually a reason you don't want to focus the Aatrox, because he'll come back. But now they can focus him down and then turn their attention over to Ezreal and Sona when he does decide to gank. He picked up a second Doran's Blade, so he'll do a little bit more damage, but generally, that's just, you know, a little thing that already set them behind. He's also already used Flash, so he will not have that available either.
Yeah, that use of Flash as the projectile came into him, meaning that he still got hit by it. Obviously, you can't outrun projectiles in League of Legends unless you have some sort of ungodly move speed, so he did get caught out by that one. And we've seen a little bit of trading in the bottom lane, but overall thus far it's been pretty even. Thresh has obviously taken a knitting course because he is threading the needle a lot with his death sentences, not quite connecting on those, usually placing them between the two champions, so good dodging here from Sona and Ezreal.
And something that Sona and Ezreal want to do is poke down. Oh, not very nice fling in the top lane. Still not going to be enough. The Shadow Dash completely keeping him safe as Aatrox is moving into the middle lane.
Yeah, Dark Flight coming out, but the Orianna dodges away from it again. Nicely done by her. She is quite low on mana, so might have to back away pretty soon, because Gragas, of course, with that Drunken Mage, is going to get a percentage of his mana back each time he casts a spell, so going to be a bit more difficult for them to... sorry, no, Drunken Mage gives him mana back. He gets health back each time he casts a spell, but going to be difficult to out-sustain him in a lane.
Yeah, Gragas very strong with that sustain, but I mentioned earlier that he was melee and probably having a hard time farming against Orianna. He's actually up in farm right now, and he's pushing her out of that lane. He's ahead in mana. Going very aggressive there, putting down the Ignite, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. But Orianna now very, very endangered in that lane, and that just enables Gragas to put on even more pressure.
Yeah, we saw another death sentence missing there in the bottom lane as they tried to get Jarvan in as well with the Lantern, not quite getting that combination off in the way that they'd want to. The death sentences thus far have been sort of twilighty, not quite on the mark, not quite hitting, so not as good as you'd expect. We do see Jarvan coming into the mid lane, and one auto attack actually comes around, but here's Aatrox. They might go in on this explosive cast going down onto the Jarvan, and he might go very low here. Command Protect has been used, Body Slam flashed away from, and that is the flash down for Jarvan there.
And sadly, once again, that was a little bit of miscommunication between Gragas and Aatrox. The Dark Flight missed due to the explosive cast. Both of them wanted to engage, and in the end, it was actually, they were missing the CC then. If they had still had the Dark Flight up, imagine if they had another knock-up all the way back there where the explosive cast placed Jarvan. That could have been the first blood there. As it stands, the flash was used, and they do, all of them escape with their lives. And really, the only lane that's currently in any way ahead is Shen. That's up about 13 CS on Singed. But other than that, all the lanes pretty even. Gragas and Orianna went back there, so nobody going to be able to pick up a CS advantage due to the other one recalling. And it's still going to be very, very tense here over the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, a very, very close fight. I think both teams know that this could be the fight. A very close game. But, oh, actually, Death Sentence's landing here onto Ezreal, but he has got that Arcane Shift up. Does use it down to about 400 health. Gets the Mystic Shot onto Thresh and gets him down to about half of his HP. So, gonna have to back away from that for this one. But both teams definitely know this is. Oh, wow! I totally missed that. That was out of the blue. I was shocked.
I mean, Shen has done a very, very nice job of harassing Singed, and every time Singed tried to do something about it, all he could do was fling Shen back under the tower. Shen then used the Shadow Dash to get back out and just kept chucking Vorpal Blades. They give him back health when he attacks that target, or if he kills that target a certain amount over a matter of time. So he was able to sustain very nicely, and Singed had just run out of his charges on the Crystalline Flask and couldn't do anything about it. Shen whittled him down little by little, and then at some point went under the tower, picked up the kill with the help of his Ignite, and just walked away from it. Very nicely done there. It's first blood over to Infected Gaming. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, puts them about 800 gold in the lead, so a nice advantage for them in the early game. Obviously, they've picked up a little bit of gold from their Runic Shield as well, Relic Shield, sorry, in the bottom lane. About 111 gold shared from that, so that's pretty nice for them as well. And it's the little advantages that are going to spell the big advantages as we come into the mid and late game. We saw how good Bananas and Tuxedos were at securing Dragon in the last game. I wonder if they'll be able to do the same now that they're on blue side and they don't quite have the same presence in that lane, in the sort of area.
And you mentioned the gold gained from the Relic Shield. The reason why the double Relic Shield was so strong was because it gave both the champions extra gold. Now, Corki's the only one getting gold from that item. That means Thresh is going to be rather starved on terms of gold. And he's the one that has to initiate every fight in the bot lane. Now, if Sona and Ezreal poke him down well, and Thresh doesn't have gold to pick up any items to help him with that, he's actually going to be in a lot of danger as Gragas goes in mid.
Yeah. Shockwave coming down there. Orianna is going to get caught out here by the Blades of Torment. She flashes away. Massacre's come out, giving him that extra range though. Nicely done there by the Aatrox to pick up that kill. Actually engaged in bot lane. The box has gone down. Crescendo, true shot barrage. This is going to be enough. Onto the Corki. Barrier's been popped. Here comes Shen as well. Oh, they managed to turn it around. 2-4-0 exchange in that bottom lane. But Singed now is going to be able to push out top.
Singed just going to like this little bit of time that he has for himself. He was not able to interrupt the teleport though, and that would have been really important. Beautiful engage out of Infected Gaming with that box, with Corki surviving by help of the barrier. He still has flash up as well. And you know, I mentioned that Thresh would be gold starved. He's not going to be gold starved if he manages to pick up kills for his team. Because, you know, assists give gold, surprisingly. Shen Naev. Oh my god. Singed in trouble.
Yeah, Singed is in a lot of problems. Popped that Ghost isn't going to be able to get away. And actually, Aatrox getting the kill down to Corki in the bot lane, stayed around for a bit too long. So much action going down all the time right now. Of course, it is 1-0 to Bananas and Tuxedos, but the way this game's going, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Game 3.
Game 3 would be very exciting, of course, as we now see the first big items come out. Ezreal, unlike last time, not going for the instant Trinity Force. He picked up a Vamp Scepter and a BF Sword, going for the early Bloodthirster, as we already see a Dragon attempt now at almost 11 minutes out of Bananas and Tuxedos. They dominated Dragon control last game. I do believe they picked up every single one completely uncontestedly. And once again, the first one going over to them simply due to beautiful timing. Corki had just died. Aatrox was there. They had recognized the open moment, went for it, picked up a free dragon. It's going to be even a little bit of extra gold for them. Right now they're behind due to being 2-4 in kills, but they have every chance to still catch back up, and they're recognizing their opportunities and taking them. If they can keep this up, definitely still a very scary team here.
Yeah, Singed is not having a fun time in this top lane, trying to get Shen away from the tower as much as possible, but really not doing any damage. Shen with that Spirit Visage. Oh, there's an engaging bot lane. Here they go. Jarvan managing to help out with that kill. Corki actually picking it up onto Sona, and Sona's perfect spree is not looking anywhere near perfect in this game. 0-2-0. No kills for that bot lane yet.
And Jarvan had used the Cataclysm earlier when he picked up Singed in the top lane, so he did not have that there. That would have made the entire gank a lot easier, but his knockup was still able to land onto Sona, and Sona was unable to escape. You know, Corki and Thresh, combined with the Jarvan knockup, have so much CC and so many abilities. It's Shen now in trouble.
Yeah, Shadow dashing away from the Dark Flight there. Is it going to be enough? I think it will actually. Not enough mana there on Singed to be able to use the Flame, so going to be able to escape from this one. And as I said, it's so difficult to gank a Shen. Like, he just Shadow dashes away. Jarvan is coming in as well, and Orianna looks like she might be coming out from mid lane. No, she's going to farm rates. They're going in on this under tower. Is it going to be enough? Shen getting flung backwards. He's really, really close to dying, but beautiful Cataclysm there, catching out Aatrox. He's going to be able to sustain through with that Bloodwell passive. Cinch is there as well. Blaze of Torment. They're going to go in on Jarvan. Cinch flings a minion. That is not what you want to be doing, Cinch. Minions are your friends. They are not your enemies. They're going to go in onto Shen. He gets taken so low. Vorpal Blade is not going to be enough. The poison stack is not going to take them down. The tower is low as well. Here comes Gragas and Orianna. They're going to try and get up towards this lane. Orianna putting the command attack into the bush. Gragas actually turned around. He's going to try and put this one back onto Orianna. They've engaged again in the top lane. Shadow Dash onto Cinch. Fling. Is it going to be enough? Blaze of Torment. Dark Flight missing there. I don't know if they'll have enough damage. They won't. They have to back away again. And Shen and Jarvan. Oh, Explosive Cask is not enough either. Take the damage from Gragas. Get in my belly. Oh, he Shadow Dashes beautifully. Ignite. There! Is it enough? Orianna's coming around. Not command attacking quickly enough, but Gragas might get caught out here. Orianna is there. Has got the shockwave. No, hasn't got the shockwave available. Just use it. One auto attack. One more auto attack will be enough. No command attack. Picking up that one. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Wow, what a back and forth fight. All of these people with such low health, and they just kept fighting. They did not... I mean, the tower was at such low HP as well. Maybe it would have actually been better for them to kill that first, but in the end, that was just beautiful. Gragas and Orianna, as you mentioned, had been trying to get up there for a while, and finally Gragas managed. The Explosive Cask was not enough to pick up Shen, and Shen survived for so long. Such low HP. Orianna was able to move towards the backline. The shockwave was used in order to pick up the kill onto Aatrox. He did not have his blood well up either. He just went down without much of a fight there. And then she was still able to move over to the other side, pick up Gragas on the back of that, and that's now a 2-1-0 Orianna. Yeah. She has the Chalice of Harmony building towards Athene's Unholy Grail, and there's a lot of pressure going in onto this bot lane with Corki and Thresh trying to take out that tower, and now there are a number of advantages in favor of Infected Gaming. But last time as well, Infected Gaming had the early upper hand, but through superior dragon control and superior team fighting, Bananas and Tuxedos were able to get it back. Right there it was a little bit sloppy, they stayed around very, very long. But when the 5-man team fights and the crescendo timings come around, they can still win this game.
Yeah, and as you said, we do see the extra sustain coming out in this bottom lane from that Bloodthirster on Ezreal against the Phage Sheen on Corki. So he's building towards the Triforce, going to get that extra damage down. We actually saw him using the Sheen really well to take down that tower. Missile barraging off to the side so he didn't get tower aggro from hitting his opponent and then being able to take it down. I mean, it's such a close game at the moment, a lot closer than the scoreline suggests, especially since there's one tower down here for the Infected Gaming team, whereas Bananas and Tuxedos have yet to pick up any of them. 2,000 gold behind, that could be 1,000 very soon. Sona getting engaged upon, however, True Shot Barrage comes out, there's so much damage onto Thresh, oh she walks into the box, is it going to be enough? Here comes Aatrox, no, manages to back away. I was expecting Aatrox to pick up that Dark Passage there, grab the Lantern, but obviously Thresh isn't on his team, so that would be quite difficult. Jarvan is coming in from the side, however, and might be able to pull off this gank. Going into the Ezreal, he's got Arcane Shift. That's not the best target. Cataclysm flashes away. Arcane Shift as well. The big one coming out from Corki, just missing right at the edge of that one. And Gragas was on his way down, has decided to back away and go back across towards his mid lane. Has that explosive barrel up. Here it comes. Ooh, just knocking Orianna across to the side. Not quite enough CC there for him to follow up on that one.
So once again, so much action, so back and forth, and in the end, Sona was... Did anyone die?
Nope.
Not quite sure, actually.
Nope.
I think Sona did die. No, Sona survived as well. So, really, just so much back and forth, and it just shows there's a lot of communication between engaging, disengaging. She used the crescendo to engage first, then Thresh and Corki turned around. Then Aatrox came around. Still wasn't enough to pick up a kill. And then they just ran back and forth, and it turned around. Then Jarvan came down as well. Gragas was almost on his way down there. And it's just... wow, so much communication, so many skills used, and sadly, not enough to pick up a kill this time around. It is 7-3 in kills right now in favor of Infected Gaming, but as it stands, that is not enough to win the game just yet. There are only 1,900 gold between the two teams, but now the Trinity Force is done on Corki. That's going to be a huge spike in damage, and he's also got the Sorcerer's Shoes done.
Yeah, Shen's ultimate is up, as is the Shockwave as well, so I'm expecting to see a fight coming out really, really soon. Sona actually getting engaged on here.
Sona.
She is not in a good position. This is not the Sona play that we'd expect to see. Oh, flashes away from the command protect there. Would have been a Shockwave as well. They're going to move across and try and take out this dragon, I think.
I mean, Dragon just respawned, and this time around, Infected Gaming are there and in a very good position. They had just cleared out the enemy vision, but Gragas is there as well, and that's a lot of possible AoE damage, and they're poking back and forth. It is currently a 3 versus 4, but Shen, of course, does have that teleport up if Singed doesn't interrupt them. It's still, now it is 4v4. Ezreal finally there, and there's the Stand United.
Yeah, actually trying to engage with the Valkyrie. Nice explosive cast. The Cataclysm coming down onto Aatrox. Flash Shadow Dash there by Shen. They're going to try and get this Aatrox down. He has got Blowwell. Beautiful Crescendo hitting up 3 people though. I don't know if this Aatrox will survive Flame. No, he gets taken out. And that is the smite down for the team as well. They're going to rotate back towards this dragon. Explosive cast is not up. Top turret has gone down while all of this has happened though, so if they manage to steal this dragon, it will be very, very much worth it. But Shen and Thresh are going to be able to back them away from this one. Oh, here comes the grab, and they followed it up. Corki is here. Is Wolfish EU going to go down? Flashes across the wall, the shotgun missing, but there's a beautiful Valkyrie there by Corki to follow up and secure that kill for his team.
So that was a very nice dark passage into the Dragon Pit in order to make Corki able to follow that up. Meanwhile, in top lane, Singed is still there. He's not going to be able to get onto the inner tower, though. And in the end, Singed isn't... Shen is positioning perfectly for his Stand United. He's always going away, out of reach of Singed, so he can't fling him in order to interrupt that. And now, Orianna chasing down onto Singed. Is she... No, she's not going to get him. At least just yet.
He just boils the kettle and runs away, as you can hear. Steaming, boiling kettle right there. Lets Singed run away. He's got his tea ready. Gonna have a nice cuppa as he goes back to base.
And he's already picked up the Spectre's Cowl and the Catalyst of the Protector. I'm kind of surprised because generally when you pick up a Catalyst, you want to rush that Rod of Ages as quickly as possible. But he realized he does not have enough magic resist. Picked up the Spectre's Cowl then, and now he's sitting in base. What is he gonna pick up this time around? He has 1,600 gold, probably waiting. No, he picked up Boots. He could pick up the Rod of Ages instead. He finished up the Spirit Visage and picked up Boots on top of that. His counterpart, Shen, also has a Spirit Visage, so a little bit tankier, especially against that Singed Poison, and a Warmog's Armor. He's now 3-1-3, that is a very, very beefy Shen, and his Stand United is doing huge amounts of work for his team. Really, when he comes in there, that's the big, beefy front lane they want, they need, and that will help them win out this game if they keep going like this.
Yeah, actually sort of a... And what I would call a prophylactic Stand United in the last fight. Using it before it was needed so that they could engage that fight with the Valkyrie as well. And using it on someone as well who could get right into that backline. Either Jarvan or Corki are the ones you want to see that on, unless Thresh has hit a hook. If Thresh hits the hook, go in with that Stand United on him and you can get straight into that backline. Because of the Valkyrie from Corki and because of the EQ combination, the Dragon Strike Demacian standard combination from Jarvan, putting it on them allows them to get into the back of the fight without having to worry about their health bars because they have that extra shield and they know they'll have backup in just a second.
And there are ever more big items coming out right now. You know, Ezreal starting to build towards that Trinity Force now after finishing up the Bloodthirster. But Corki almost has his last Whisper done. He's already got the pickaxe and the longsword. As we see Red possibly stolen away here by Corki. That would be very nice for him. Yes, he does manage to get it. Very nicely done there. And Orianna picked up the Death Cap. So, right now, oh, the beautiful Death Sentence.
Death Sentence landing there on Gragas. He's going to back away through the box, but Aatrox is around. Oh, he's getting taken very low. Standing nicely coming in there onto the Corki again. Nice mega adhesive there. Going to keep everyone backed away, and Aatrox is going to be able to go back towards base and heal himself up, or even off those minions. We talked about his passive on his W on that Bloodthirst, going to heal him up quite quickly, but the rest of their team is having to defend this mid lane tower, and it's going quite low. True Shot Blast coming out from Ezreal. He's still in bottom lane, so won't be able to be up here as quickly as you'd like. 5-man stack in this middle lane. Aatrox is going back. It's a Gragas, Sona, and Singed. Gragas very quick at clearing out minions. However, if you land a nice Shockwave onto him, if you land that Cataclysm as well onto the Sona, really going to be able to lock down this team pretty quickly. However, looks like Infected Gaming are going to back away. Bit low on the health bars to stay around too long.
And that was a really nice pick onto Gragas. Sadly, they weren't able to finalize the kill. Gragas did manage to get out of there. And it was the Stand United to use, though. So that's not going to be available for quite a while longer. I do believe there are still... It's about half the cooldown, so about 70 seconds left on that. As Orianna goes very low in the mid lane, but Jarvan and Thresh are there to defend the tower now.
Yeah, they should be able to clear this one out pretty quickly. Orianna is there as well, going to stay around. And oh, nice Death Sentence landing there, but Singed is not the target you want to go into. If you go onto Singed, you'll be writing a death novel about yourself. It would be an autobiographical novel of how I got flinged by Singed.
And really, it's something you have to learn when playing Thresh. Even though you may be quite euphoric about hitting that death sentence, you don't always have to follow it up. It's also very difficult for Lee Sin to do. If you hit the Sonic Wave, you always want to follow that up, but sometimes you just have to realize, this is not my time, I have to wait a little bit. To be patient is now Jarvan moving in mid.
Yeah, Jarvan has engaged in mid using that Cataclysm, and here comes Aatrox. He's got the Blood passive up. Massacre, True Shot Barrage coming out as well. Aatrox has gone down. He's going to be acting in a second, and Sona's being called out by that death sentence. Might be enough damage onto her. Oh, beautiful crescendo across onto two people. Explosive cast, Flash is out of position. Is it going to be enough? No, they're pinging back because Shen is coming round the side. He is on huge amounts of health. Shadow dashes in, ignites onto Sona. Sona's going to get taken down, and Shen might be able to just run out of this one. Aatrox trying to re-engage, but Gragas is not in a good position here, and Ezreal is here without any mana. Singed not as tanky as he'd like to be, can't run around the back of that team as much as he would want to, and Shen being around, he talks about the Warmogs, that is giving him so much tankiness.
And really, there's a little bit of miscommunication over on Bananas and Tuxedos. Aatrox being a little bit, you know, he re-engaged without his passive, without his ultimate, and without a lot of backup from his team. He just ran in there, sadly, went down for free. The crescendo from Sona was very... well, I don't want to say late, because when she used it, it was perfect. But I wonder whether she could have used it sooner to really make a hard engage, and it could have helped them out more. Because Stand United was not there. Shen now has it back up, and he can go back to split pushing now. And there's nothing that Bananas and Tuxedos have. They needed to make something happen and capitalize off of it. Something that was really clutch once more, though, was the explosive cast from Gragas. He used it very well in the last fight there when he got hit by the death sentence at a Thresh. He used it very well this time as well. Sadly, Shen was able to come around, flash and ignite the Sona, and still picked up the kill with that. But generally, he's been really on point with those, especially for the disengages. And now that he's picked up a Rabadon death cap, it's going to be even stronger on him. One thing I really like once more, Sona picking up the Mikael's Crucible. Once again, she can free her teammates from CC, and even though this time there isn't quite as much hard CC, it's still going to be crucial for them to use that, as we see another dragon picked up by Infected Gaming. This time, Bananas and Tuxedo's not quite as dominant in that respect.
Yeah, not a good position here from Sona again, and she's going to get melted, just not the place you want to be. Oh, nice death sentence there onto Sin. She's going to get flinged back towards the tower. Actually, away from it there. The box comes out, and it's a 4v5 push down this mid lane. So much damage onto Thresh, though, with that barrel roll and the Blades of Torment, and they're going to have to back away a little bit, trying to push out this lane as much as possible. Thresh getting taken down to about a quarter of his HP, and we talked about the clear here from Singed and Gragas. Really, really quick wave clear, so they're going to have to just try and take down this tower in little chunks. They're not going to be able to do it quickly, especially since Corki doesn't have a massive range. He's not sort of the Caitlyn sort of range. He's going to have to get close up and personal with this Gragas if he wants to try and get onto that tower.
He does do a nice amount of damage to towers, though, especially with the Last Whisper and the Trinity Force. Is Aatrox now in the Dragon Pit. Has to use his Dark Flight to get out of that. Is going to be safe, though. Walks past the Pink Ward, doesn't kill that just yet. You know, all these people are saying Pink Wards are so vulnerable now, and sometimes I still have the feeling they're completely invisible. People walk past them all the time, despite, you know, you can see them, but you don't expect them to be in every bush, and then when you do walk past one, you just don't register, and you just keep walking.
You just walk straight past this Pink Wards, and I think it's sort of one of the hidden passives in the game. Oh, look at that damage on the Sona, half a health. Explosive cast coming in, they're going on to Jarvan. Thresh is taken very low. Massacre out from the Aatrox. True Shot Barrage coming in. Stand United. Oh, Orianna right at the edge of that crescendo. Beautiful shockwaves onto herself, but it doesn't go off. Shen is there, takes down Sona, but it's a support for 2 kills at the moment. Jarvan's trying to engage. Sinch is tanking up this tower. Beautifully done. Shen goes down as well. That's an ace! It's an ace coming out here from Bananas and Tuxedos. What a turnaround!
And that's really what they needed the entire game so far. They had the perfect engage. They had a beautiful Sona crescendo that locked up so many enemy members. Orianna was locked up. She couldn't even get her Shockwave out before she died. There was no Cataclysm out of Jarvan. There were so many opportunities denied from Infected Gaming while grabbing all the available advantages themselves. And now that's going to mean not only the inner middle tower, but also the inhibitor tower and the inhibitor. That was huge for them. And all they lost was Sona. And they got so much out of it as Thresh, Sinch now in trouble. Ouch.
Singed goes down there, but that's 2 ultimates used for Singed after taking the inhibitor as well. He will accept that as a trade. That's brought them only 1,500 or 600 gold behind now, and That's really, really helped them out in this game. However, I predict a rush Baron. They've got the damage for it with Corki, with Jarvan, with Shen. Jarvan puts down that Damascene standard. That's really going to speed you up and get you that extra attack speed. And here it comes. They're going for the rush Baron. Gragas is around, has explosive cask up. Sona, Crescendo is not off cooldown yet. Probably about another 40 seconds on that, so it's not going to be up for this fight. Ezreal is there. True Shot Barrage is there. Explosive cask coming out, but they don't have vision on it, so it's popped way too early. Here comes Ezreal. True Shot Barrage is going to come out, and here comes Aatrox. Is it going to be enough? Yes, Aatrox steals! Aatrox steals the Baron. They're going to fight this one out. Ezreal on Orianna off the side. He picks that up, but gets the barrier down. Just gets taken out. Nice shutdown there for Shen. They're going to back away. Singed is coming in as quickly as possible. Insanity Potion will be popped any second. Gonna get the extra attack speed. There's the Insanity Potion. Sona picking up the kill there onto Corki. Shen is still there. It's such good trades coming out. Nice dark flight onto Thresh. Thresh goes down. Shen has to flash away, but he might get caught out. Actually, Shadow dashes across the wall. Body slam in there. Get those weights in your face, Gragas. He is gonna back away, and they might actually be able to push down these Nexus turrets now. They've got Baron. Such a good advantage here for the Bananas in Tuxedo's team. That Baron steal, man. That steal.
That's steal indeed. Aatrox being on point there. You know, Gragas being a steal threat, Ezreal being a steal threat. They were still able to not get it with a True Shot Barrage, and then comes Aatrox with a knock up onto the enemy jungler, so Jarvan couldn't smite it, and then he takes it himself. Picks up the Baron for his team, and then a beautiful fight as well. Ezreal was sitting there all alone, did so much work on it by himself.
Oh, Orianna gets knocked out. Slam United onto her. Beautiful, beautiful shockwave. Here comes Shen. Corki's in that backline trying to tank up this Singed. I don't know if he'll be able to do enough damage. He does. Shen is on that Aatrox, and Gragas almost gets hooked there. Cataclysm will come out any second now. Wolfisher U is going to go down. And there's the kill. The Ezreal wasn't with them. It's actually in bot lane, so they went a bit too far trying to take that turret, I think.
I agree. They overstayed their welcome a little bit. They had an advantage, a very clear advantage at that, but then they were a little bit careless, and they paid for it. They lost 2 members. 3 members actually. Sona went down as well. Ezreal got the bottom tower though, still pushing that wave, and they got a lot of damage onto the top tower. I don't think they're going to be... it's not what you want to do, but it's not too terrifying. One thing I want to mention though is the amount of kills on Shen. Shen is 7-5, and even though that's really nice for you, for his entire team, because he's very tanky, it makes this 12-17 kill score on the scoreboard a lot less menacing, because 17 kills is a lot, but if 7 of those are on your tank, and all he can do with it is be beefy, you're losing out a lot of damage on your carries. And on the other side, there are 3 kills on Aatrox, 3 kills on Gragas, 3 kills on Ezreal, all of them doing damage, and they're using that, and they're doing very, very nicely with it. And even though there are also 5 kills on Corki, you know, imagine if 7 kills were on Corki, or even more. That would be even more of an advantage for them, and Corki's now building towards that Infinity Edge as well. That's going to help him quite a nice chunk, push out even more damage, but I don't know. I think the kills on Shen are good, but if they were on another carry, it would give them more of an advantage, and they're missing damage for some of these team fights.
Yeah, we do see a nice blue steal coming out here from Bananas in Tuxedos, and we always talk about kill spread, and I think one of the major things is Shen is not as scary as Singed anymore. Like, just not as scary. So, like, it's very difficult as Shen to know what to do now, because either you go sort of build a Triforce and get that extra damage, or you go extra tanky as you said. But Singed now, because he's got that God of Ages and the Spirit Visage and that Giant Spell, is a lot scarier than the Shen is.
And he's trying to go up split push. I mean, he has a Stand United up, but this time around, Singed is not there to deny him the split push. He's with his team, and Shen cannot afford to race this, as this inner tower is going down very quickly, despite not being...
Oh, beautiful shockwave picking up 4 people though. The Stand United is coming. Jarvan Cataclysm on, gets Gragas, gets 2 kills. This might be a beautiful turnaround here for the Infected Gamer team. Aatrox has to flash away. Descent is just missing. They're not quite able to pick up that one. Ezreal is trying to kite back as best as he can. Will be able to escape, but that shockwave. Ho ho ho.
Wow, that was ridiculous. Beautiful engagement. The shockwave was spot on. The overall, the Cataclysm as well, that was perfect. Thresh sadly didn't get down the box. They didn't manage to keep the enemies there. And there's a lot of mobility over on Bananas and Tuxedo's team. They have Aatrox with the Dark Flight, you know, Singed with his Insanity Potion, and then the Arcane shifts out of Ezreal, so they were able to survive. Ezreal now in trouble still, gets taunted up.
did get taunted up there, but Ezreal had managed to Arcane Shift just before the taunt landed, so although he got taunted backwards, was a lot further away from the team than he expected to be. Mystic Shot actually coming down there onto Orianna. Flash in there by Ezreal. He's going for this one, misses the final Mystic Shot, and with that Command Protect and the Lantern giving her a little bit of extra shield, means that they're not going to be able to pick up that one. That is a flash down on Ezreal, which, although it doesn't seem like a major thing, you have to remember Arcane Shift does have a cooldown and is about 8 seconds at this point, so still a bit of a cooldown to work with as an Ezreal.
And Sona now going towards Lich Bane, it looks like, you know, after getting the Ruby Sightstone and the Mikhail's Crucible for her AD carry, she's going in there and wants to do a little more damage. She still has that that Frost Fang. It's been doing a nice amount of work for her. Give her a total of, you know, by now over 800, almost 900 gold. That's been really, really nice for her. Due to that already paid for the Blasting Wand, and it's enabled her to be a lot more menacing than a Sona usually is. And now Ezreal's also picked up the Last Whisper already, a Negative Cloak on top of that. There are no items on both teams. The Rod of Ages on Singed has stacked up about more than halfway as we see another engage.
Yeah, Explosive Cast coming out. Shen is in the midline. The Grax is going to go onto the side of this fight. He's been boxed up. Shen is on the face of Ezreal. Nice crescendo hitting a couple of people, but Sona has been taken down. Shockwave getting Gragas out of that one, and here comes Shen, but he's not going to be able to do anything. Getting caught up, and Aixi actually picking up one kill. He's going to go on the honor, picks up a double kill. Are they going to be able to do enough? No, he gets taken down. It's only Aatrox left alive, and this is a 5-4-2 exchange here. Aatrox trying to get onto that one, but he's going to get taken out. Triple kill there. Poor Sci-Fi man, and the throws are so strong in this game.
Wow, Corki doing a huge amount of work there, beautifully positioning himself, using the flash and the barrier at perfect times. And you know, the crescendo was nice, but it was not enough to turn that fight around. And this time around, the carries from Infected Gaming were just sitting there untouched for too long. They tried to take down Corki, they didn't manage due to the way he was escaping from everything. And Orianna lived for a long, long time as well, which Ezreal finally took her down. He then paid for it with his life, and that was towards the very end of the fight. Their tanks had already gone down. Gragas was down, Singed was down, Aatrox was about to go down afterwards after that as well. And really, it's a matter of focus at that point. Infected Gaming's carries were able to sit in the backline and dish out their damage, while Bananas and Tuxedos, they tried to protect their carries as well, but they were just overwhelmed. The team fighting this time around was superior from Infected Gaming. They communicated well, they engaged well, or rather counter-engaged, since the engage originally came out from Bananas and Tuxedos. But now we see another Baron attempt here. The ward was already cleared out, the first one anyway.
Yeah, the first one has been cleared out, and that Oracles is still on the Sona, so she would have been able to get that one if they decided to go for it. But they're just going to back away. It is a 5v fight here. Obviously the Oracle's coming from that upgraded Sweeping Lens as opposed to coming from Oracles which has been removed from the game. So it's going to be interesting because the lanes are pushing. That middle inhibitor getting destroyed has helped the mid lane push out, and the top lane and the bottom lane are pushing here in Bananas in Tuxedo's favour. However, it's such quick wave clear coming out from Infected Gaming that if they manage to get it, and if they manage to clear the waves, they'll be able to get back towards this Baron really quickly. However, Orianna there in the bottom lane has started off this Baron. They're going to go for it. Orianna is running across as quickly as possible. Jarvan was still in base. They're still going for it, and Corki actually taking quite a bit of damage. Since is here. Here comes Shen from the side as well. Baron down to about half of its health. Is it going to be enough? It's down to 4,000, 3,000. Here comes Orianna coming in with that Dark Lantern. Is it going to be enough? It's down to 2,600. Crescendo across a bunch of people. There's the Explosive Cask as well. Oh, they managed to go into the back. Jarvan is there. There's Aatrox jumping onto the Orianna. Aixi is still alive there on the Ezreal. Gragas picking up a kill. Here comes Singed, another kill for Gragas. Shen and Jarvan are the only two left alive against 4 men from this Bananas in Tuxedo's team. Jarvan getting taken solo. He's going to go down. They're not going to chase Singed away, but they might be able to push for the win now.
And that was really the opposite of last time's fight. This time around, they managed to protect their carries, keep all of them alive, both Ezreal and Gragas still alive at the very end of that, and it paid off beautifully. Shen is still sitting over the wall. Let's see whether he can pull off what Aatrox has already pulled off. A beautiful spot on Baron Steel, but there was the ward. They know he's there. It's going to be dangerous, though. There's a big stack of minions on their inhibitor. They need to get back to base and defend that.
Sona has just popped though, and she has got that Lich Bane, and there's the Aatrox getting it with the smite. Shen is going to go down here. Dark Flight onto his face. Aatrox picks up the kill. And Sona is back in the base defending, Lich Baning it up. Go on, Sona. I believe in the power of Sona.
Indeed, and the True Shot Barrage, of course, doing a great deal to help that out as well. Very nicely done there, and we now see even, you know, both of these teams are now stacking up massively. Gragas is at 5 items. He's still got the Crystalline Flask that he can sell and pick up something else. Ezreal, Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, Banshee's Veil, Last Whisper, and the Boots of Lucidity. He's really scary. Corki, similar. Infinity Edge, Trinity Force, Guardian Angel, Last Whisper, and the Sorcerer's Shoes. Orianna, Deathcap, Zhonya's, Fiend's Unholy Grail, Void Staff, and the Sorcerer's Shoes. All of these guys nearing their full builds, and even though it's 19 to 25 in kills, the gold is within 3,400. So once again, kill lead for Infected Gaming. Gold in favor of Bananas and Tuxedos, but still very, very close. 3,000 at the 40-minute mark is not much. It's incredibly close, as now Bananas and Tuxedos are pushing for that inhibitor. They want the added map pressure. They want this inhib bad.
I cannot blame them, because their own inhibitor turret is down. It means there's a lot of pressure going down that mid lane against them. Shen getting flings away there. They do manage to pick up that inhibitor, and actually they're engaging onto Orianna. Nice crescendo, picking up 3 people there. There's the Dark Fight, True Shot Barrage, Explosive Cast coming out as well. The Cataclysm onto the face of Aatrox and Sona, but Gragas is still alive. Ezreal is still alive. Oh, the Shockwave! He dumps away from it. EJ Panda picking up that one. Bloodwell passive has gone down. Cinch is out, but Ezreal is still alive, and as is Gragas. Orianna. There is the Zhonya's, but she's going to get bows in the face as soon as she comes up. Blaze of Torment coming off onto her as well. Jarvan has gone back to base, and Ezreal, oh, they flashes away, but there's the kill. Gragas picking up that one. Corki has had his Guardian's Angel pop. Is he going to go down? Mystic Shot hitting. He manages to Valkyrie away and uses the flash as well. Jarvan getting taken down to about half health is on the fountain now, though. They're going to try and regenerate. Will they be able to stop this Nexus turret push coming out here from the Bananas in Tuxedos team? They might be able to, however, the Lich Bane from Sona is going to speed this one up ever so slightly, which is great for their team. They're going to go on to Corki. He Valkyries away as well. He might be able to survive this one. He does by getting back onto that fountain really quickly. The second Nexus turret has gone down. Jarvan getting jumped on. He's going to get taken out. Oh, just before he manages to get that combo off. Here comes Thresh. Oh, Corki goes down as well to the Gragas. Death Sentence there onto the Gragas. He's going to go in, but he's not going to be able to do enough damage. And this is the Nexus going down for Bananas in Tuxedos. Wow. Wow.
Incredible. That ending push, that ending fight, those last fights were crucial, and they were so flawlessly executed by Bananas and Tuxedos. The crescendo engage was perfect. The explosive cask on top of that. At the end now, Sona had crescendo back up. She could have fought again, and they just did everything they had to do. Once again, they managed to protect their carries, and even though Orianna lived for a long time, it wasn't good enough to pick up the win. You know, in the end, beautifully fought from Bananas and Tuxedos. They did what they had to do in every one of the team fights, and incredible. That's all I have to say for now.
Just a couple of incredible games there. Congratulations to Bananas in Tuxedos. They are our 3rd place winners here for the Summoners Cup number 14. They will go home with 1,600 RP each and 800 RP each to the Infected Gaming teams. Commiserations to them. They fought very well. The second game was really, really, really close. Just an amazing, amazing game. We're going to pass across to Han Solo Q to give us some analysis before we go across to the finals.
Hi guys, can't believe that. I thought Infected were going to win. That was such a close game. Infected played so well at the beginning. They did everything perfectly. They dominated their lanes, but that Baron still by Aatrox, that's what won them the game, I think. I think BIT were behind up until that Baron still. Once they got that Baron still, that got the ball rolling, and they just did everything perfectly from there. It's a shame Sona died 8 times this time after being the MVP from last game, but great play by BIT. They played perfectly after the Baron still, and a very deserved win.
Yeah, a superb best of 3 there. 2-0 to Bananas and Tuxedos. As I said, they go home with the 1,600 RP each. Just incredible, incredible games. So, I've been Sona. You can find me on Twitter at The Only Sona, and my co-caster today has been Grey Goose. Really, really enjoyed casting with you today, Grey Goose. You can find him, as it says, on the page at Grey Goose. We've been casting for the Summoners Cup number 14. This was the third place playoff. We're going to be passing across to, I think it's the Passion Eltazar. I'm not 100% sure as to who the next two casters are. We'll be passing across to them. They'll be taking over the stream, and we'll have the finals, the grand finals, which is another best of 3 between Numero Uno and Exu. In just a couple of minutes. So stay tuned, guys. I am exceptionally excited, and I'm sure you all are too.